Dave Seaman is here, Standard Speaker Sports Editor for another Dave Day. Dave, I was at Marian Catholic High School this morning. They were doing a National Honor Society induction for the juniors. One of the seniors already in the National Honor Society is Tina Caporal, and they honored her before Mass and before the induction because she won the State Girls Single A Cross Country Championship. Dave, she said it was the smartest race she's ever run in her career, and quite a great career she had. We'll talk more about that when we do a feature story with her tomorrow here on SSPTV News. But when I was telling some reporters I was going to cover Tina today, all they kept saying, Dave, is, wow, you know, what a nice girl, what a nice woman. And that's something we truly enjoy covering a lot of these athletes, because they aren't just great athletes, they're great people.
Yeah, you see Tina Caporal too. She's been running the local circuit for a long time. She's been competing in races like the Run for the Cannoli. You know, Alberto would be happy that I mentioned the Run for the Cannoli. But she's been outstanding. You know, it's from the junior high level at Holy Family Academy. She was very, very good there. And then she moved on to Marian High School, and all she's done is just compete and get better and better every year. And you know, you got to like that from a high school athlete who, you know, improves each year. Her level at the state race, you know, got better and better every year. And I was talking to Bob Lipsky, one of my colleagues at the Pottsville Republican, who covers cross country and does an outstanding job for that paper, covering cross country. You know, we talked about her chances of winning, and he said that she would be in the thick of things. And he knew she had to compete against that girl from Warrior Run, the freshman. But you know, Tina stayed with her throughout the first 2 miles, and then the last mile, Tina caught her. And once you get in the first place in a cross country meet, and you see the finish line, you know all that hard work. It's right in front of you there at the finish line, and she was able to bring it home.
A lot of good things going on at Marian Catholic, sports-wise. Usually very good sports school, Dave, but the Marian girls volleyball team, they win in the first round of the state Single A playoffs against Canton. Now they will move on to the second round into the quarterfinals. And Dave, they were pushed by some really good teams in our region, in the Schuylkill League, even Nativity, Panther Valley, Blue Mountain. So they were tested before the state playoffs. Now they get in there. I think they should be all right.
Yeah, and they play a tough non-league schedule too, which helps them when they get into those close matches. And you know, some of their mainstays, Jasmine Mooney, most especially Gianna Augusti, they have been through the wars, so to speak, before. Marian is used to the competition at this level.
Dave, I covered their district championship game against Nativity. They had their back against the wall. I was very impressed with how they came back. And a lot of these girls on the team, they've been there. They've been state runners up a few times, so they know what it takes to get there. Now they just want to get that gold. Hazleton Area High School football. I ran into Steve Stallone, who covers the Cougars for the Standard Speaker, on election night, and I said, Steve, how good has Adrian Otero been on defense this year? And he just smiled and kind of shook his head, and he said some college is going to be very lucky when they get Adrian Otero, who he blocked the point after attempt that sent the Cougars to the championship game in the Districts 2/4 sub-regional playoffs. 6A playoffs. That will be this Friday night against Delaware Valley, and it just shows how far this program has come. I know we talked about it in the past, though, too.
Yeah, we talked about like Adrian Otero. You know, we kind of dwell on offense. You know, as that's what we are as sports fans. We're all focused on the numbers and everything, and I think he sacrificed a bit of that this year to really excel on defense. I mean, he's really been the linchpin in that defense. The Cougars are playing well defensively, and we said all year that they've had the skilled people on offense, that they could put up the points. It's just going to be a matter of, can they stop the other team from scoring? And they're going to be facing a tough outfit in Delaware Valley this weekend in the championship game up in Milford, and won't be an easy test. But right now, the Cougars are, you know, probably exceeding some people's expectations. I don't think the coaching staff is surprised, or the players in that locker room, but they'll be ready to go. It's going to be a tough game. The Cougars play well defensively. They have a shot.
And Dave, let's close with some college football talk. Before the year, both you and I said Penn State would have 2 losses. Looking at the schedule, you said, hey, this might be a better team than last year's Big Ten championship team, but with some improving teams in the Big Ten and the schedule, you know, they might just have these 2 losses. Penn State now has 2 losses. We sit here, and Dave, why does it hurt so much? And I think because they were ahead in the fourth quarter, they had a chance to win both of them. But listen, this is still a very good football team. I still think they're a top 10 football team.
I agree they're a top 10 football team, but I think both Ohio State and Michigan State have exposed some holes in the lines, especially defensively. In the beginning of the season, Penn State really didn't see a prolific passing attack like they saw in the Rose Bowl with Sam Darnold last year. And we all know what Sam Darnold did and the Trojans did last year. They picked apart that defense. When Penn State doesn't get pressure on the quarterback, that does expose a lot of holes in the secondary.
Notre Dame. I think Penn State's a top 10 team. I think Notre Dame is a top 5 team, Dave. They head to Miami this weekend. They'll face the number 7 Hurricanes. Right now, the Fighting Irish in the college football playoff. I won't say who I'm going to pick because Ron Marchetti will yell at me if Notre Dame loses, although I showed my hand a little bit there Do you think they leave Miami with the victory and college football playoff right in front of them?
I do. I think Notre Dame's, I think they're going to win the game at the line of scrimmage. I just think, you know, they have the skilled people to win it, but I think in the trenches, that's where Notre Dame has really excelled this year. When you're averaging like 300-some yards a game rushing, that's pretty telling. You have a big back in Josh Adams who gets tough yardage, and a quarterback, emerging quarterback in Brandon Wobush. If Penn State fans remember, he had committed originally to Penn State. Now he's at Notre Dame, and he's done very well for Notre Dame in his first year as a starter. They got the offense going. Their defense is much improved this year, too.
All right, Dave, thank you so much for your insight. Make sure you're reading Dave's articles in the Standard Speaker, and we hope to see you again next week.